Hello, teacher Gina. My name is Jonathan Anchundia. I live here in Tana City, and in this video, I will try to cover and explain the main characteristics of these four English teaching methods. So I've been researching and trying to make a summary, and I have in this paper, so I will try to read and explain what I have understood about these four English teaching methods. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is the direct method. So it is conducted in a target language only. Only the everyday vocabulary and phrases are taught. So words that the kids are going to use every day. So that is what is taught in this method. So the oral communication is built up based on questions and answers exchanged between the teacher and students. Grammar is taught conductively. Speech and listening comprehension are very important here in this method. The second one is the audiolinguism method. This method emphasizes on grammatical patterns and learning, which are the result of a habit formation. It focuses on teacher-led choral repetition. So here kids have to repeat things like parrots. So parrots don't actually speak, but they don't talk, but they just repeat things. So they get used to this word. So when they learn this word, they will just keep repeating and repeating all day long. So, and here memorization plays an important role to get the necessary input to produce the language in the students. So as it says, the audiolinguism method talks about that the repetition is very important here. So the more you repeat, the more words you will learn. And the extensive use of a drilling is necessary to help students realize how a language works. Okay, and now I'm going to be saying some characteristics about the notional functional syllables. This method is to focus on functions of the language in different contexts. It catches most of the common used phrases in a specific situation. The aim of this method is to present the language considering the student's needs. Yes, and the immersion language is the fourth one. So it refers to any education approach which places students directly in an environment. The students are not allowed to speak the mother language. For example, in my case, when I was learning English, but I was also learning German. So my teachers of German were not teaching me German and Spanish. So all the explanations were in English, and English is not my mother language. So it was kind of difficult for me to understand English and German at the same time. But yes, but I did it. Yes, I don't speak that much German. I'm still on the way, but then I just went on the way with English because English is much easier than German. And yes, it's like living in an English-speaking country where no one speaks our native language, so we are forced to speak English. Yes. And also students do not receive grammar explanations. This is what the immersion learning says. They just hear and speak language all day long, having in mind that they cannot rely on their language, on their native language. Okay? And here I want to mention as well some advantages and disadvantages of each English method teaching. English method, they different types of methods for teaching English. So we are going to start with the direct method. So the advantages of this method is speech and listening comprehension are important. So when speaking English, it's very important that speech and listening and speaking as well. So the disadvantages of this method would be the grammar is taught inductively. So that means like you just go directly to grammar. That's not very nice actually to teach our students. Audiolinguism, the advantages would be people who want to learn a new language, and probably they will have to like use this method, because they will find patterns to learn the language through the drilling. Drilling is something like they will prepare us for the real world. Yes, and they will understand how this language works as well. So, and repetition would be a disadvantage of this audiolinguism method. Repetition would be something negative of this method when it should be more natural. Yes, I think it should be more natural, that kids can discover new words by their own, not that we have to force them to repeat and things like that. And the notional functional syllables. So the advantage would be it catches the most commonly used phrases of a specific situation to learn the language. So that means like in my case, I've been learning things that I am still using, so I didn't learn things that I'm not going to use. Probably now I speak English, but if I want to like get into a specific like area like cooking, or maybe in the area of translation, I will just learn vocabulary about that. But the vocabulary, I know that is something that many people use every day. And the disadvantage of this notional functional syllables would be that when students are not in front of a situation, so when they are in front of a real situation, because they were just repeating and they were just memorizing things, they will not be able to get by, because they just learn this structure and they will not think in English, which is not good. And the immersion language in learning, so students are forced their brains to process information, so they can just receive understanding by the context. So, and they will leave apart the translation, because I have like realized that like us as Ecuadorian people, as Hispanic people, we think in Spanish while speaking English. We try to translate first. Okay, how do I say this in English? But then I firstly think in Spanish, then translate it. So this is something that immersion learning method will help students not think in the mother language, but speak in the language they are speaking, which is English. And the disadvantage of this immersion learning would be the challenge is to continue practicing the language, because it can be easily forgotten. And this is something that really happens, because if you don't practice, you don't brush up your English, brush up your English, well, you will forget your English. Yes, and yeah, so that's it, teacher. And I'm very happy that I have been learning these methods. I think I'm using like part of the direct method, part of the immersion learning method. Yes, I'm using part of this and this and this, part of the fourth method. Yes, I've been teaching English for the past 5 years and learning English for the past almost 10 years. So I'm very happy that I am back to study English. Yes, and thank you, teacher. I hope you can understand my English, and take care. God bless you. If you have any comments, just let me know. I'll be able to learn more. Bye-bye. You are great, teacher. Thank you very much.